Hey guys, Cryptus here with a random video comparing Blood Tap versus Runic Empowerment and Runic Corruption and why I chose Blood Tap. Just as a heads up, this is strictly for dual wield Frost Death Knights in PvP. So let's start off with the Runic Corruption since it is a more popular choice as of late. The Runic Corruption benefits: 1. It is a passive ability. 2. It stacks with haste, meaning the more haste you have, the more Runic Corruption will benefit you. 3. It is possible to generate multiple runes at once, rather than just a single rune. 4. It can also stack up to about 10 seconds of active time. The drawbacks: 1. The runes aren't instant, but it isn't that bad once you get used to it. Runic Empowerment benefits: 1. Passive ability, so you don't have to manage it, just like Runic Corruption. 2. Grants 1 rune per proc. Drawbacks: 1. It is RNG based, meaning you won't know when it will proc, it just happens at random. 2. Grants only a standard rune, meaning Unholy will be Unholy, Frost will be Frost, and so on. So lately I've noticed I'm having kind of a little bit more downtime versus Runic Corruption. Blood Tap benefits: 1. Full control. You can activate them at will whenever you have the stacks, even if it's one after another. 2. Once active, the ability lasts 25 seconds or until you use it. 3. With dual wield, Frost Strike is our major ability, so Blood Tap stacks very quickly and often. 4. It doesn't share a global cooldown, allowing you to proc it immediately one after another providing you have the stacks, and won't interfere with other DPS globals. 5. It grants death runes. This alone is very nice. It allows unholy runes to become death runes, giving you those 2 extra Howling Blast. Some drawbacks: 1 is management. The con of Blood Tap for some players would be the management. You have to constantly be watching it and use a button press to activate it, rather than it being a passive ability. But with practice you get used to it and it becomes a standard routine. I know it no longer bothers me and has become muscle memory pretty much. I personally have been using Blood Tap lately and really enjoy the feel of it. I prefer it over the other 2 options actually at this point. I plan on using this as I progress to level 90, but again, remember, I find that Blood Tap benefits Frost dual wield more than Frost two-handers. I use Blood Tap because it gives me that chance to store the procs while switching to different enemy players, and it almost feels like having 8 runes rather than 6, because it also gives me that opportunity to activate my 2 stored procs for when using cooldowns such as Pillar of Frost or anything else, or other DPS abilities. So that's my view on Blood Tap for Frost dual wield Death Knights. I really like it personally because it does fit my style. But for serious players, I would still highly recommend Runic Corruption or Runic Empowerment. Blood Tap is worth a try if you want to test it out and don't mind having to press more buttons than usual. It has been discussed that Blood Tap is a tanking talent more so than a DPS talent, so I would suggest other two-handers or dual wield Frost players to remain with Runic Corruption, since haste is a secondary stat after mastery. It would benefit them more with Runic Corruption. Not to mention, stacking the proc with Blood Tap would be more difficult to do with two-handers, since they use Obliterate more than Frost Strike. So again, Blood Tap, fun to use for dual wield, maybe not the best option, so try what works for you and stick with it. I'll continue using it for now and maybe at level 90, but I really hope this video helps explain a little bit more about our tier 5 talents. Thanks for watching.